Yo, what's going on, combatants? Welcome back to another episode of Face Yourself. Today we'll be going over the former protector of Earthrealm and the current Earthrealm champion, Raiden. The new era Raiden is interesting. He's possibly the most pure and humblest out of all the Shaolin, including Liu Kang, Kai, and Kung Lao. It almost feels like he shouldn't even be fighting, to be honest. But anyways, if you're new here, in these episodes we break down the characters' appearances over the years and their personality based on bios and endings, as well as something unique with each character. For Raiden, we'll actually be doing two unique topics. Being he's such a key figure in all of Mortal Kombat, we'll first touch on the differences in his role as Thunder God versus him being champion of Earthrealm. Spoilers ahead, be warned. Secondly, we'll be talking about the impact of the original OG's reappearance in the story towards the end, and what possibilities they'll have going forward, with not only possible DLC stories but additional future DLC characters as well. I'll also be making a guide for Raiden. I'm currently working on it. It's not. I'm not sure when that'll be. Probably like in a week or two, because I don't want to use the same boring Serena combos. Raiden's much better than that. You don't need that to make him good. Also, this video will be in chapters, so if there's a certain section that you're interested in it, you can just jump right into it. I'll have it listed in the description. This is gonna be a long one, so you might want to grab your popcorn. But anyways, guys, let's jump into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy this. If you do, leave it a like or a comment. Anyways, let's move on with the video. So with Raiden being an OG character, we'll start all the way back to the original Mortal Kombat game. Raiden wore traditional white gi, and he wears his signature pointed straw hat. His face is covered in dark shadows outside of his glowing eyes underneath the gi. He wears a black undershirt. He wears a black sash also around his waist. His pants are actually all white, and they are fully tucked into his all white boots. Funny enough, his name was Raiden, R-A-I-D-N, in the arcades, but when the game was ported to consoles, it was changed to R-A-Y-D-E-N for copyright reasons, because of another arcade game called Raiden, R-A-I-D-N. But that actually changed after Mortal Kombat 4 and future installments of Mortal Kombat. I'm guessing maybe they asked Raiden if there was a right to use the name, or maybe they stopped making games and just kept doing it like that. Who knows? But I'm glad that they changed to R-A-I, because R-A-Y just sounded weird to me. In Mortal Kombat 2, Raiden wears his signature straw hat with a black cowl. This is connected with his black shirt as well. He still wears the white gi, but now it's overlapped by a blue vest with black trimming that drapes down to the front and the back. Also, on his sleeves, he has like a black strip that connects into these gold and black symbols. Fun fact: if you didn't know, they read "I must consult with the elder gods," which, if you didn't know, they would be his main catchphrases for future installments. Okay. All the kidding aside, the symbols actually mean Thunder, I believe. His armbands that connect into his gi has been changed to black. Everything else is the same, and he still has like a white boots and white pants. He actually misses MK3 outside of the story intro, but he does make a reappearance in Mortal Kombat 4. His costume is very similar to his Mortal Kombat 2 costume. It's been updated a little bit, but he now wears these two silver shoulder pads, and the blue cloth is a lot smaller, seemingly being cut into like a V shape. Probably saw V-neck shirts and it was like, by the elder gods, that gives me an idea. The blue vest still has his signature symbol as well. His signature, obviously, it's a thunder symbol. His armbands are still black too, but he now wears like silver knee pads and silver shoes. Other than that, the costume is near identical to his Mortal Kombat 2 costume. Moving on to Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, we see Raiden's costume get some serious upgrades. Probably my favorite version of Raiden. He gets an updated version of his Mortal Kombat 4 costume. His hat is no longer a straw hat. I assume it has some kind of metal that helps draw lightning to him. That's what I always thought as a kid anyways. He had these bumps that go around the edges, which I thought was a cool touch. He actually lets his hair down for the first time. You can clearly see his face in this costume, especially with his glowing eyes. He still wears his typical white gi, but he has a freaking cape, which was super badass. The cape connects directly into these giant like gold and teal buttons, and his new teal and gold shoulder pads connect directly into his cape. Also, the teal and the black V-vest makes a comeback with some blanket kind of padding. You can see that the white gi has also gotten a little bit of an update. It has some gold trimming on the flaps of his gi. And honestly, throughout the costume, the gold trimming is heavily featured. He wears black wraps underneath his gauntlets, which are teal and has gold trimming added to it. He no longer has the regular black sash, but he has some kind of WWE type belt, which you guessed it, it's teal and gold. Not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. His pants are still white, but also they have gold trimming. His boots has changed a lot as well, being black with gold trimming and now having a blue ribbon that wraps around it. His all costume was super dope as well. So just to start with, they actually go for a samurai-esque look. Raiden's hat is now hanging on his back. You can see his face clear as day as well. He has long silver hair and his glowing eyes are clearly visible. You can see he's been hitting the gym because boy, he was brolic as hell. Anyways, he has a black and gold strap that goes across his chest. I assume it's connected to his sword's sheath. Not that he ever actually uses a sword. His white gi is back with the gold trimming, but he has like the thunder symbol on his sleeve. Which honestly I think is cool. Is like he actually has only one arm in his shirt. Really to just show off his muscles. Like I just think that's hilarious because Raiden is just so off-brand for Raiden to show like any type of skin or vanity at all. But anyways, he wears a sash which is teal and black, a bit different from his primary. Also, he has new gauntlets that connect all the way past his like up to his elbows, I believe, and they're black and gold instead of teal, black and gold. He doesn't have his white pants, but a long samurai. I don't know. Do you call this a skirt or a kilt? Not really sure what to call it, but it's mostly black with some teal in it, along with some gold-looking pattern at the very edges of the I guess skirt or kilt. I'm not sure what to call this, so don't kill me. He changes from his usual boots to sandals in this one. This is definitely one of the better designs throughout Mortal Kombat for Raiden, in my opinion. In Mortal Kombat Deception, this is the first time we see of Dark Raiden. After sacrificing himself to destroy Onaga, he came back as a Dark Raiden, which in my opinion might have been inspired by either Dark Ryu or Darth Vader. But I'll go into that later on in the video. Raiden has a similar hat to his Deadly Alliance hat. Outside of the anchor looking piece, his entire costume honestly looks like an armored Japanese warrior battle armor. Now, a trace of his usual white or blue, especially in his glowing eyes. Now his eyes are glowing red, and he also has red lightning as well. Darth Vader has come to bring peace to his new empire. All kidding aside, his new outfit has like a dark blue, I guess it's dark blue color, and like a black throughout the costume. He has like a black armored like shirt with like a dark gold vest trimming. Like it was pretty cool for the time, if I'm being honest. His shoulder pads follow suit. It's the same kind of design. So he has like a new long regular black gloves instead of like having gauntlets, which I thought was interesting because usually he was rocking the gauntlets. He also has like a new dark brown belt, and his pants are now dark brown and are stuffed into his boots that are now open toe. A very unique look design, to say the least, in my opinion. So in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, they just reused both primary skins from Deception and Deadly Alliance, so there's not a whole lot to touch on there. So we'll just move past that. In Mortal Kombat vs. DCU, Raiden costume drew inspiration from his Mortal Kombat 4 skin. His straw hat makes a comeback, as well as his black cowl and his glowing white eyes. Or is it blue? I guess it just depends. Sometimes they look like white, sometimes they're blue. But they're back in full force either way. He has a new white gi with his collar popped out. His gi has white and gold trimming again. He still has his black undergarments, but has some kind of black chain piece between the gi and the black shirt. He has these double black shoulder pads. Kind of a weird design choice to have them be stacked on top of each other, but I don't know. I guess it's just double protection, maybe. He also has like these arm guards around his arms instead of gloves. He has the white cape back again, which I think is dope. Anytime you see Raiden with a cape, it's just awesome. His new belt isn't really a belt as much as before. Like it's more like it's like a rope with black duct tape around it. I don't know. I remember seeing this as a kid, and I'm just like, what the hell is he wearing around his waist? But anyways, his pants are back to being white, as well as having white boots, except he has like a armored shin guards that has like a grayish color with like dark gold designs. The bands that wrap around the shin guards are also blue, a nice updated version of his like Mortal Kombat 4 skin. I think they did a really good job with this, because like one of the things I remember, I liked a lot of the skins from the Mortal Kombat vs DC, but I think Raiden was probably one of my favorite ones. It's a very nice updated version of the MK4 skin. Onto the NRS era, Raiden. Let's go to Mortal Kombat 9. His skin looks exactly like his MK4, except he has like a silver arm guards instead of black armbands, and a silver shin guards that go from his knees all the way to his ankles. He has a new dragon medallion on his gi as well. His gi also has like this black and gold trimming throughout it. On his sleeves, there are gold plating that bring back the his old Thunder characters, and on both arms, like it was a pretty cool traditional look for Raiden, I gotta say. But moving on to Mortal Kombat X, 25 years later, we see Raiden training a new generation of Earthrealm champions. Raiden wears his signature straw hat, although it looks like it might be made of bamboo this time around. So I guess it's more of a bamboo hat than a straw hat. He changes his black cowl to a blue one, and the standard glowing blue eyes is back. His white gi is back as well, and the V-Vest is back with a new design look. Honestly, it was pretty awesome the way they made this. It was like a golden blue designs that intermingled with each other. Like, it was just pure chef kiss. Like, it's probably one of my favorite designs for Raiden in the new NRS era. Both his gauntlets and boots also had blue and gold trimming, similar to the designs of the V of the vest. And it was a great choice in my opinion, especially at the bottom of the boots. Honestly, the whole look was interesting, and the fact that they changed like the boots to look like sandals, it kind of looked like, you know, like a samurai type thing where they have, it looks like they wear socks over the sandals. But anyways, sticking with Mortal Kombat X, we get introduced to Dark Raiden at the end of the story mode. I thought we could compare the two Dark Raiden outfits from Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11 since they had such small parts of the story. Okay, so starting with Mortal Kombat X, Dark Raiden's outfit is low-key boring. The shoulder pads were obnoxiously big for no reason. Dark Raiden was no cape, was odd looking, but Raiden deserves a cape personally. I think the reason why I didn't like this outfit, if I'm being honest, is probably the color scheme. The dark gold and the mud-like color scheme just look bad in my opinion. The cloth that wraps around his shoulders that connect into Shinnok's amulet looks good. It looks like it could have been great if he had the cape. If I had to give a grade, it's probably a 6 out of 10. Not bad, but could have been better. Honestly, like whenever I played as Raiden, I just used the regular light Raiden because the costume, in my opinion, just looked better. But you know, that's more of my choice, anyways. Moving on to Mortal Kombat 11's version, I personally like this one a lot better than the Mortal Kombat S version. The gold, black, red, and silver color schemes just made this outfit pop out a lot better. He has the metallic hat again, along with the black cowl, and he has like a normal shoulder pads, already a better upgrade. The black chest looks great with the gold armor chest piece. I like how they made the armored black gauntlets with gold trimming and the black fingerless gloves. The red sash really brings your attention to it, especially with the black and silver rope around it. The black pants are tucked into the black boots with gold trimming and red wrapping right underneath the knees. I give this a solid 9 out of 10. If it had the cape, honestly, I think this would be a 10. I really like this design for Raiden. Like, it was a really good rendition of Dark Raiden. But anyways, with Dark Raiden disappearing, the young Raiden takes his place, and the new outfit was very good. So we're gonna talk about his Mortal Kombat 11 Raiden's main outfit from like the story mode. He finally got rid of the V-vest he's had throughout Mortal Kombat history, and now it's like a blue trench coat with gold trimming. He still has his white gi like normal. His hat is back, and he has his black cowl that connects to his black shirt. I'm not gonna lie, I like the blue cowl a little bit better than the black one, but you know what? It's just it's here or there. Like honestly, they're both good. They're both good. But personally, I think the blue really insinuates like his where he is in the story and if he's a good guy or bad guy. You know what I mean? Like I think the black should stay with dark rated and the blue should be light rated. But that's just my preference. It's not like something they have to follow by. The thunder symbol is back on his arm, and he has these bronze arm guards with blue leather at the top of each gauntlet. He has these black fingerless gloves again. Nothing new there, but his new belt is like a white ropes that connect with the giant black fanny pack looking thing. His new belt, his new boots, he rocks a new dark brown leather design with gold trimming, and he has like a blue ribbon wrapping around the knee pads. He also has like these big gold circles on the actual boots. I think this might be some form of knee pads, so we're just gonna call them knee pads. But moving on to Mortal Kombat 1. Alright, I won't lie, I don't like Raiden's normal costume. It looks too plain for Raiden. Like, I understand he's like a farmer now and not the Lord of Thunder, but come on. Like, his costume just looks too normal. It's very plain. Like, even Kung Lao's regular outfit looks good. It looks good. Like, okay, looking at his regular costume, like it's just like a plain shirt with dark blue trimming. He has like white wrapping with blue trimming at the bottom and the top of his wrist of the wraps. He also has like a light blue undershirt that's barely visible, a new blue sash with a black leather belt, and he has like the dragon medallion that rests on the belt. Also, he has like these dark blue pants that has black wrapping around his knees. And his boots look a bit odd. They are plain tan boots. I wish they were dark blue, but it is what it is. Like honestly, I like the Shiryu versions of the skins where he has the tattoos. They look a lot better, and then some of the other hats just look way better than his initial design. Honestly, I give this one a 3 out of 10. I really did not care for Raiden's normal costume. I feel like they could have done a lot better, especially after like he's done training and became the champion of Earthrealm. Like if you're the champion, you can't be in rags, bro. You can't look like a bum. Like I'm sorry, you can't look like that. Anyways, that's a lot of outfits, guys. But he has had some great outfits throughout the years. Not his Mortal Kombat 1 though. Okay, so in this chapter, we're gonna be talking about Raiden's responsibilities when he was a protector of Earthrealm versus the champion of Earthrealm. So to understand what his responsibilities of both positions, we have to understand who Raiden is. So basically, Raiden was the eternal god of thunder, tasked with the protection of Earthrealm from other realms by gathering worthy warriors to compete in Mortal Kombat, a tournament meant to protect the realm from invading forces. In order for the realm to invade, they must win 10 consecutive tournaments that are fought every generation. But even if you lose the tournaments, you can still fight back, even while you're being invaded with your military. Though we've never actually seen this be successful in any of the Mortal Kombat games or any type of media, to be honest. Raiden is arguably one of the most powerful characters in all of Mortal Kombat. Throughout the series, Raiden has served as a mentor and father figure to Earthrealm's champions, especially Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Although being formless and ethereal, Raiden often takes form on mortal planes. As such, he appears as a fully grown man wearing predominantly white robes and a blue vest. His face is usually shadowed by a straw hat. The effect is enhanced by his glowing blue eyes that radiates with electricity and long white hair befitting of his godlike status. Raiden's role was solely to protect Earthrealm from other realms, which he did for eons. He didn't grow attached to mortals because they don't particularly have long lifespans, especially those that participate in the Mortal Kombat tournament. He's seen a lot of his champions fall to Goro and Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn's forces. The most notable one being the great Kung Lao, who he was very fond of. Even if Mortal Kombat Conquest isn't canon, we get a look at Raiden and what Raiden and the great Kung Lao's relationship could actually look like. Raiden stopped forming attachments to mortals after the great Kung Lao's defeat. That is until Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Raiden watched them grow up and trained them to protect Earthrealm. His role has always been to protect Earthrealm, no matter the cost, but that became difficult when he started growing attached to the most recent generation of combatants, especially Liu Kang. Raiden made some bad decisions as protector of Earthrealm throughout the Mortal Kombat games, killing Liu Kang by accident. Basically, what was a son to him. Raiden slowly began to act more and more human-like, showing regret for letting Kung Lao and Liu Kang die. He never would have done this in the past. He failed as protector of Earthrealm, letting his feelings cloud his better judgment, and becoming Dark Raiden. Now, no longer the protector, but becoming what he fought against for so long. Basically, he became Darth Vader in every timeline. His role as a champion thus far has been a little odd. He became champion due to plot, in my opinion. It's stated during Kung Lao's chapter that Raiden has never defeated Kung Lao in a fight, but is somehow able to beat him when it counts. I call plot armor, especially when only a few months have gone by since they started training with the Shaolin monks. It kind of didn't make sense because, like, when you think about it, like, they were being trained by a Shaolin, by Madame Bo. So Madame Bo was a Shaolin, so regardless of, and she was training them since they were kids. So how can the Shaolin Order get Raiden so much stronger when Madame Bo didn't? Like, this is someone that Liu Kang trusts to train them. So, like, this is not some slouch. So it just doesn't make sense to me how Raiden grew so strong over a few months and was able to defeat Kung Lao. To me, it just feels like NRS doesn't want Kung Lao to be champion for some reason. But that's just my personal grievances. Obviously, I'm a Kung Lao main, so I want to see Kung Lao get that role of finally living up to his ancestor. And I feel like throughout every Mortal Kombat game, they just won't give that to him. Like, even when Liu Kang dies, it's still not him. Like, there's no champion that exists after Liu Kang dies, which is odd, but it is what it is. Raiden is extremely kind and shows great humility, even towards opponents that don't respect him, such as Raiko and Shao Kahn. He even steals Liu Kang's line when he originally meets Kitana. Not gonna lie, it was kind of cringe at that moment, especially because Liu Kang is like my favorite character. Like, him and Kung Lao, like 1A, 1B. Like, it's hard for me to choose which character I like more, because when I first got into Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang was my favorite character, but then when Liu Kang died, I ended up playing as Kung Lao, and then I started loving Kung Lao, so it's hard for me to choose between them. I still can't believe. I still believe Liu Kang and Kitana will be together at some point. Not sure how, but I said what I said. Anyways, Raiden's defeated Shao Kahn and won the tournament. Pretty standard stuff, nothing out of the ordinary. Throughout the story, he did his job, even when things went absolutely crazy. In my humble opinion, he was more effective as a champion than he ever was as a protector. Though, if I'm being honest, it's a short sample size of him being champion. So, but if I'm being 100 with you guys, I prefer him as a protector of Earthrealm rather than a champion of Earthrealm. If I'm going by my actual opinion and not just like where the story is going, like, he's much better as the Lord Raiden, because being as wise as he is, he's always been that figure that can really teach and guide everyone when they're having problems in the story. So that's just my personal opinion on that. Okay, so spoilers ahead. If you haven't played the story or watched the story, I'll give you time to skip this section or turn off the video and come back when you've watched it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I won't lie, the ending of Mortal Kombat 1 took me by surprise. I was not expecting to see the original Raiden, Kung Lao, and Kitana, especially that Liu and Kitana scene. That hit right in the feels. Not to mention my boy Lao's alive, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of brought a tear to my eye. But most shockingly of all, we see Lord Raiden back for obvious reasons. I guess maybe in his timeline, when they unfused, Liu became mortal again instead of Raiden becoming mortal. And Raiden retained his powers. Plus, I doubt aftermath happened to any of the other timelines outside the Liu and Shang timeline, because due to everybody being just confused that Shang Tsung was still alive. Obviously, you can see when Kung Lao was talking about Shang's alive and a Titan, like, he obviously didn't deal with that. And then Raiden being like, yes, he somehow survived, blah 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 blah. This is honestly, this is the first time Liu Kang and everyone stood on equal grounds. Raiden wasn't above them, like, they were all in like the same position. So I thought this was very cool and awesome to see. I like, don't get me wrong, I like the new iteration of the characters, but seeing the OGs help protect Liu Kang's timeline was dope. I wonder if the story DLC will they expand upon the Titans. Like, maybe we get more stories about Liu Kang and Titan Kitana, how they interact with each other. Maybe they get together or something. Like, I can't wait to see what they do. Like, Maybe they'll merge every timeline back together. Like I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been thinking about a video for this. I'm just trying to get everything together because I want to make a video on this possibility, especially because like we've seen something similar kind of happen. Like if you remember in Mortal Kombat 11 when Liu Kang fused with his Revenant part, like that right there, like that could be a solid way of bringing everybody together. But like I gotta work out the kinks of the theory. Like I'm still working on it. Like I'll let you guys know when that video comes out. Anyways, this is it's basically be like a solution to the multiverse thing when they're finally done with it and just want to bring it back to normal. You know what I mean? Even with all the eons that has passed, the group still acts the same. Raiden still seems to lead the reunited heroes, quickly assessing the situation and trying to come up with a solution. We gotta remember that this is the Thunder God Raiden. With him being much older than all the new Titans, he's been alive for eons before the events of Mortal Kombat 11. It's safe to assume he's been around at least since the creation of Earthrealm, since he took part in a war with Shinnok after he betrayed the Elder Gods. So he's pretty ancient. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty great seeing him. I like the Fire God Liu Kang, but there's just something so nostalgic about seeing Lord Raiden again, giving the heroes advice just like old times. This scene just shows that there's a chance to see characters such as Jade, Snowblind Kano, hell, even Sonya as possible DLC characters. They left the canvas pretty open to really stir up a bunch of new storylines if they really wanted to. I just wanted to share my thoughts on what this scene means for us and what's possible going forward. Okay guys, so this section is going to be really long. So just to keep it up front with you guys, this is probably my favorite part of these videos, where we deep dive into the bios and the endings of the characters to just try and decipher who they are at the different points of their lives, and to kind of like see how the new era of these characters are living up to the past era versions of them outside of Liu Kang, because Liu Kang's the same character. But anyways, to start, since Raiden is the OG character, we'll start with the original Mortal Kombat. The name Raiden is actually that of a deity known as the Thunder God. It is rumored he's received a personal invitation by Shang Tsung himself and took the form of a human to compete in the tournament. One thing I always found kind of funny was the fact that he was even allowed to participate in this tournament at all. But I'm glad they changed it for the story, because it's called Mortal Kombat for a reason. Like in Mortal Kombat 2 and forward, I'm glad they changed it. And I think Raiden said it best.
Mortal men and women defending your own world.
So, in Raiden's MK ending, Raiden's victory comes as no surprise to him. He was never impressed by Shang Tsung's inferior sorcery, or Goro's brute force, or even the challenge of the other contestants, which is kind of fucked. He quickly becomes bored with his mortal competition and soon invites other gods to participate on the contest. The ensuing battle rages on for years, and the war results in the world's final destruction. Raiden's ending is pretty messed up. Like, he got bored and invites the other gods to participate in the tournament, which ends up destroying the world. Like, what the hell was up with the devs with that ending? It's so dark for someone who's supposed to be the protector of Earthrealm. Although I guess at that time they didn't know what he was gonna be. Or maybe they did. They just did it just to be spiteful or something. I don't know. I just think this is crazy. But anyways, moving on to Mortal Kombat 2. His bio is interesting. Watching the events unfold from high above, the Thunder God realizes the grim intentions of Shao Kahn. After warning the remaining members of the Shaolin tournament, Raiden soon disappears. He is believed to have ventured into the Outworld alone. Raiden goes to Outworld to challenge Shao Kahn before all the heroes can make their way to help him. I think the change to make it Raiden the leader of the Forces of Light was a great way of making a god make sense in a mortal fighting tournament. With Raiden going to Outworld by himself, and us knowing what we know about Raiden, what he's doing is reckless. He's significantly weaker when he's in Outworld, so he's pretty much marching to his death. Through his ending, we get a better idea of what happened. Familiar with Shang Tsung's lies and Shao Kahn's brutality, Raiden accepts their challenge to compete in Outworld's tournament. He is well aware of their scheme to unbalance the Furies and invade Earthrealm. Raiden vows to use all the might to end their treachery. By winning the tournament, Raiden destroys Shao Kahn and all his minions, and he also destroys the Dimensional Gates, which would have been their passageway to the Earthrealm. A weakened Raiden goes into our world like a G and just wrecks everyone, stopping the destruction of the Furies and destroying the dimensional gates. Obviously, this doesn't happen. Like, this is clearly a non-canon ending because Raiden's much weaker. Shao Kahn is still a demigod. Like, regardless of everything that's happened, he still has that brute power, and Shang Tsung's no slouch either. So, like, I don't actually see Raiden going in there and defeating him when he can't even defeat Shao Kahn in normal conditions. Like, we know this from the Mortal Kombat 9 story. But anyways, in Mortal Kombat 3, so going by the story summary, like, because we don't have Raiden didn't appear in Mortal Kombat 3. It says you have been chosen to represent Earth in Mortal Kombat. Be warned, although your souls are protected against Shao Kahn's evil, your lives are not. I cannot interfere any longer as your Earth is now ruled by the Outworld gods. These are the words of Raiden. Going by the first part, it's clear Raiden made a mistake somewhere, and now he can't interfere with the mortals of Earth, which is a bit odd, but it is what it is. But anyways, continuing on, we can see that Sindel killed herself to create a barrier around Earthrealm to protect them from the same fate as Indenia. However, Khan's Shadow Priests, led by Shang Tsung, make it so that Sindel's spirit will someday be reborn. Not only will it not be an Outworld, but it will be an Earthrealm itself. This unholy act gives Shao Kahn the power to step through the dimensional gates and reclaim his queen, thus enabling him to seize Earth. The dimensional gates were still a factor, so obviously his Mortal Kombat 2 was not canon. But moving on, in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, we get actually a better look at what happened to him because he actually appears in the game. So, as his bio states, as Earth's sworn protector, Raiden finds himself banished in the merger between Earthrealm and Outworld. The Thunder God transforms himself into a mortal warrior in order to exist once again on Earth and fight on the side of his human comrades. This time risking his place in the pantheon of the gods and giving up his own immortality, Raiden takes a major risk to help the mortals, possibly losing his godhood in the process. So, in his ending, when Outworld and Earth merged, Raiden finds himself battling Shao Kahn without the assistance of the Elder Gods. The Thunder God must transform into a mortal in order to exit the combined realms. When he does this, he puts his own immortality at risk. But Raiden has always been found ways of fouling Khan's plots. He guides the chosen Earth warriors into battle against Outworld's Emperor's armies, then finally faces Khan himself. The powerful beings fight until the very core of Earth is shaken, and Raiden emerges victorious. Raiden has taken this stance multiple times throughout Mortal Kombat to put his godhood on the line. A few examples are Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, here in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and most recently the Battle of the Realms, where he becomes into a mortal again. Well, not again, but mortal for the first time. In Mortal Kombat Gold, he makes another appearance. The God of Thunder returns to Earth after the defeat of Shao Kahn, but finds a new threat. When Shinnok's forces, led by Quan Chi's attack, the other gods with heaven in disarray, Raiden exists as one of the last gods of Earth. He must come to the aid of his elders and put an end to the villainous reign of his ancient enemy. Raiden this time must lead his forces to fight Shinnok. Raiden's ancient enemy. Now he must save not only Earthrealm but also the other gods as well.
Raiden, for many ages you have protected the Earthrealm from the forces of evil. You have earned your place among us. With your ascension into the pantheon of Elder Gods, you must choose your successor as the new protector of Earth.
With the aid of Earth's mortals, I have once again managed to defeat Shinnok and his minions. I choose Fujin. He will guide the mortals of Earth as they move into the next millennia.
After defeating Shinnok and saving the Elder Gods in Earthrealm, he joins the Elder Gods and he names Fujin as the new protector. Not that it lasted very long, his attainment to Elder God. But going by his Deadly Alliance bio, the Elder Gods were fully aware of the potential damage the Deadly Alliance could inflict on the realms. Quan Chi and Shang Tsung posed to the instability of the realms. Yet even with the foresight, they all stood firm on their decision not to interfere. All that is, except for one, Raiden. The former god of thunder pleaded with his fellow elder gods to take action, but they refused. Disgusted, Raiden relinquished his elder god status and returned to Earthrealm to gather support against the coming storm. There's no way Raiden could stand by while Earthrealm dealt with the threat of the Deadly Alliance. They were a threat to all realms, and the fact that the Elder Gods stood by and did nothing just shows how detached from reality they really were. Especially since it was because of these champions of Earthrealm that they were saved from Shinnok. So in his alt bio, Raiden returned to Earthrealm to reunite with his comrades and to inform him of the impending threat from the Deadly Alliance. Those that accepted his call to arms were instructed to meet him on Shang Tsung's old island fortress, located in the Lost Sea. Once there, Raiden explained in detail the dire situation that faced not only Outworld but Earthrealm as well. He then summoned Shang Tsung's nether ship from the ocean depths, and with it transported all of them through a celestial portal known only to sorcerers and deities. They emerged in Outworld ready for battle. Raiden, no longer an Elder God or Protector, decides to get all the willing warriors to not only defend Earthrealm but all realms from the Deadly Alliance.
Once again, the threat to Earthrealm has been vanquished. The Deadly Alliance is no more. What dangers lie in the future I can no longer foresee. Perhaps the Dragon King will in fact return. Perhaps the depths of the Netherrealm will spew forth a legion of Oni. Even the vampire people pose a threat to peace now that Outworld is in chaos. But one thing is certain, Earthrealm must be protected. As his elder god to aid these mortals and act defiant of the heavens, I will instead remain here on Earth as God of Thunder.
The funny thing about Raiden's ending is, he gives up his status to destroy the Deadly Alliance, but he had a feeling like, it seems like he just had a feeling that Onaga is going to be back. But this might be some form of foreshadowing as well, because, you know, Mortal Kombat, they kind of like to do that, like, especially like Ed Boon. But I don't know. This is something I always thought about. He defied the heavens, so he technically didn't get his title back, either as Elder God or as God of Thunder. Technically, Fujin still was the protector of Earthrealm. Like, he never relinquished it. So I'm not sure if he was able to do that. If he could just become protector of Earthrealm again after relinquish it to Fujin. But anyways, in Deception, in order to grasp what happened to Raiden in Mortal Kombat Deception, we have to understand what changed him into Dark Raiden.
It was not by chance that this struggle came to be. The blame falls squarely upon my shoulders for giving evil the chance it needed, and therefore fulfilling an ancient prophecy. Raiden's Earthrealm champions had failed to stop the Deadly Alliance from fully resurrecting the mummified army of the Dragon King. In the end, only Raiden himself stood between Earthrealm and total destruction. Defying the Elder God's wishes, he alone challenged Quan Chi and Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, Earthrealm's last hope for freedom. Raiden fought well against the two sorcerers, and it seemed as though victory was at hand. But the combined might of Quan Chi and Shang Tsung proved to be overwhelming, even for a Thunder God. Raiden was defeated. The Deadly Alliance had won. Their victory was short-lived. As suspicion and lust for power overcame both Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, the former allies turned on each other. The Deadly Alliance was no more. Quan Chi defeated Shang Tsung and reveled in his conquest. But it is said that there is only one true ruler of Outworld. And that ruler had returned. Onaga, former Emperor of Outworld, the Dragon King. The prophecy had been fulfilled. The Dragon King had indeed returned to Outworld to reclaim his army and impose his dominance. Death awaited all who stood in his way. And so it was that a new alliance was formed out of desperation. Sworn enemies joined forces to combat a greater threat. Raiden began to realize that even their combined might was not enough to defeat the Dragon King. There was only one chance left. Raiden's sacrifice was in vain, for the blast had little effect on the Dragon King.
Every Earthrealm champion was defeated. Only Raiden was there to stand against the Deadly Alliance. He fought well, but was overwhelmed by the two sorcerers. And like clockwork, they betrayed each other, with Quan Chi coming out as the winner. It looked like he won. However, little did everyone involved knew an evil being was scheming since before the first Mortal Kombat tournament. Onaga, disguised as a god of the Elder Gods Damashi, had tricked Shujinko into freeing him from his prison. With Onaga returned, Quan Chi, Shang Tsung, and Raiden created a temporary alliance to deal with him. But Raiden wasn't dumb. He saw that their attacks weren't working and decided to turn his essence into a bomb, although it failed. So if we're going by his primary bio, we pretty much just get a kind of understanding of who he was before he became Dark Raiden. I was well aware of Onaga, the former ruler of Outworld. Shao Kahn had been his advisor until he poisoned the Dragon King and stole the throne for himself. But Onaga has somehow returned, more powerful than before. His power seemed augmented by a force previously exhibited only by the Elder Gods. Even the might of the Deadly Alliance combined with my own could not defeat him. I did the only thing I could. I released my godlike essence in an attempt to destroy them all. Raiden seemed surprised by Onaga's return, and not only that, he seemed more powerful, on par with the Elder Gods. Seeing no way to defeat this overwhelming power, he blew himself up like a certain someone we all know. So then his alt bio, we figured out, I don't want to say we figured out, but it kind of describe like how he eventually becomes Dark Raiden. So going by this bio, by the time my energies reformed in Earthrealm, I was aware of all that had transpired. I became disgusted with the doings of mortals, with Shujinko's vanity and desire for glory that had led to the return of the Dragon King. I will no longer allow the will of men to determine the fate of this earth. They will fight for it, or I will destroy them. all will fear the new god of thunder. I was hoping there was a more descriptive reason as to why Raiden became Dark Raiden, but I couldn't really find anything, so here's my thoughts after blowing himself up. When his energy reformed, Onaga's influence corrupted him, especially with him being in Outworld and then going to being reformed to Earthrealm, where I don't know, like, okay, so when he was getting reforming his essence in Outworld, like, obviously he's already weakening from being in Outworld, coupled in with mortals putting Earthrealm in danger over and over again. All these reasons finally broke the Thunder God, corrupting his soul. Even though Shujinko reversed his mistake by destroying Onaga, Raiden was merciless. He was no longer the forgiving god of thunder, but a savage god. He killed Shujinko. Anyone who threatens Earthrealm will not be spared.
My patience for mortals has worn thin. If I am to protect Earthrealm, I must punish those who would threaten it. The fool Shujinko had let himself be deceived into believing that he worked for a greater good. He was in fact an unknowing tool of a greater evil, one that had almost caused the destruction of Earthrealm. That Shujinko undid his mistake and destroyed the Dragon King is of no importance. Those who place Earthrealm in harm's way will pay with their lives.
Obviously, this wasn't canon because Shujinko appeared in Armageddon, so I don't know. So I found a bio for Raiden. Like, I don't know how legit it is because most of the bios like kind of don't exist in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. So let's just say like this is not. I think this is the real bio because there was a few that was released. So we'll just cover it anyways. Like, I kind of like the story because it kind of explains a few things inside Armageddon. No longer will I entrust the safety of Earthrealm to the free will of mankind. The time has come to take matters into my own hands. Centuries ago, I defeated an ancient sect of necromancers, the Hoan. I hope I'm saying that right. Though their members subsequently were scattered to the winds, their ancient underground temple still existed, abandoned and unused for ages. On the stone walls within were etched enchantments that would revive the dead. Strewn about were the enchanted chains of binding the Hoan would use to control their undead. I laid the corpse of Liu Kang on a ceremonial altar and bound it with the shackles. Reciting the unholy enchantments, I brought to life the body of my former ally and infused it with a thunderclap of lightning. The corpse of Liu Kang would be no mere zombie. It would serve as my ultimate enforcer. Satisfied, I then set free this abomination to wreak havoc on those who would have done harm to Earthrealm. Before we continue, I gotta say this is beyond messed up. Raiden had fallen so far as to use dark magic, like the same kind of dark magic that Shinnok and Quan Chi used, but at least they allowed them to have some kind of fraction of free will and personality. What he did to Liu Kang's body was seriously messed up. Liu's body was trapped in chains like a slave and an enforcer for the dark god Raiden. Like, he doesn't even refer to him as a person anymore, but as an it. This is probably the worst version of Dark Raiden we've seen. At least the Dark Raiden in the NRS eras didn't go that far, like with their dead companions' bodies. But anyways, continuing on, though I tried to conceal my activities, my use of the dark energies did not go unnoticed. Shinnok appeared before me and proposed an alliance. He would help secure the protection of Earthrealm in return for my aid in some undisclosed plot. I am no fool. I know well the treachery of this former Elder God. I accepted his offer and will complete this task, but only to discover his true objective. Until then, I will use Shinnok to serve my own ends. Raiden plans to use Shinnok to see what plans he has for Earthrealm after the Battle of Armageddon. He's lost. Like, he's just lost it. He only cares for defending Earthrealm by any means. Might as well add a Darth in front of Raiden, because at this point he's becoming what he fought against for so long. And we won't even talk about the ending because it's just obnoxiously dumb. And I don't want to put you guys through that BS. It's sure he just becomes stronger than other guys and destroys everything except for Earthrealm, which is just stupid. Like he destroys every realm but that. Like, it's just a whole different type of crazy. Like, but anyways, so with the first restart in Mortal Kombat 9, we enter into the NRS era. to tell a new, similar story. The timeline gets a soft reset with Raiden moments before his death, sending memories to his past to help prevent Armageddon. So basically, in his bio, Raiden is the god of thunder, protector of Earthrealm, ageless and wise beyond measure. He leads Earthrealm's mortals in the endless battle against the forces of darkness. When Shao Kahn, Emperor of Outworld, threatens to merge his realm with Earthrealm, an overwhelmed Raiden implored the Elder Gods to give Earthrealm a fighting chance. Thus, the Mortal Kombat tournaments were created. For millennia, Shao Kahn has been kept at bay, but 9 consecutive losses to Goro have eroded hope that Earthrealm can be saved. Determined to prevent Armageddon, Raiden tirelessly quests to find a champion worthy of Mortal Kombat. Okay, so before we continue, I just want to say this. First things first, Edenia, after losing 10 tournaments in a row, were invaded and ultimately conquered by Shao Kahn. But by the way this bio makes it sound like, it made it seem like Raiden had some plan to start the Mortal Kombat tournaments for Earthrealm when this tournament already existed with Edenia. I don't know why maybe there was some kind of typo, like, to be honest, because like this can't be right, because we already know that Edenia had been fighting in the tournaments. So I don't know, like, that part just was really off to me when I read the bio. Like, I just think it was very odd. Second, the Raiden is searching for a champion, which again, it isn't true. He found Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Like, he had been training them since they were kids. But whatever, like, they saw the potential to compete in Mortal Kombat. Both of them had the potential. Like, this is not something that, like, you know, like, they just found Raiden and Kung Lao when they were adults. Like, they had been training them since they were children. So that's another thing that's just very odd. Like, but you know what? I'm not gonna be overly critical, but you know, I just think that's a little odd. But anyways, we're gonna use the actual story endings as canon, because obviously the story is directly impacted. Not like in the original Mortal Kombat games up to Armageddon, they didn't have no actual story outside of Conquest. So we'll use the endings and like how things, if anything, directly impacted Raiden through the story. Unless like Raiden has some kind of canon ladder ending, then we'll talk about that. So at the end of Mortal Kombat 9, when Raiden's trying to reason with Liu Kang, but Liu Kang's not listening, Raiden kills Liu Kang by accident. He was trying to get Liu to back off and understand, but after everything that had happened, all the warriors being killed seemingly, it's no wonder Liu Kang has stopped listening, and it's honestly what ultimately got him killed. After giving in to Shao Kahn, the Elder Gods finally interfered, and with the help of the Elder Gods, Shao Kahn was finally destroyed, but only at the gravest of costs. So Liu Kang ends up dying. Everyone dies except for like Johnny Cage and Sonya. Like, it's pretty freaking savage. I remember watching that scene as a kid. Well, not as a kid, but as a young man, I guess you would say. Like, that shit was just fucked. Like, they literally just killed everybody, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, bro, what just happened? Because like, I get like them not having too many people killed, like besides Kung Lao. Like, I was like, okay, Kung Lao's dead, they're probably not gonna kill nobody else. Nope, wrong, they kill everybody. Like, they just, like, that shit was out of left field, I ain't gonna lie. But anyways, fast forwarding to Mortal Kombat X. Raiden, God of Thunder, is the protector of Earthrealm. He and the Elder Gods defeated Shinnok millennia ago, when the latter sought dominion over the realms. More recently, Raiden thwarted Outworld's attempt to merge Earthrealm. First through the Mortal Kombat tournaments, then via invasion. Victory came at a great cost. However, as many of Raiden's closest allies were killed in battle, Raiden's strength was further tested when an escaped Shinnok led a NetherRealm assault on an Earthrealm weakened by war. Ultimately, Raiden imprisoned Shinnok again, this time in Shinnok's own amulet. But rumors had reached Raiden that the amulet, thought to be secured in the Earthrealm vault for decades, might have been stolen. So for those that don't know, Shinnok was the architect behind the invasion of Earthrealm. Quan Chi pitted the two realms against each other, so Shinnok could corrupt the Earth's Jinsei. However, due to Raiden's meddling, to avoid an outcome because of his visions, they lost almost all their forces, which was not supposed to happen. Nevertheless, weakened by Outworld's invasion, the remaining champions banded together and were able to trap Shinnok and his amulet. Raiden was defeated by Shinnok very easily, for one who was the main reason he was initially present in the amulet. And I'm talking about the first time when Shinnok betrayed the Elder Gods. But it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because like he just got done fighting like 5 revenants. Raiden cleanses the Jinsei chamber after Shinnok had corrupted it, and at the end of the game we see Dark Raiden monologuing. Obviously he becomes corrupted due to Shinnok's dark magic when he is cleansing the Jinsei chamber, and now he just wants to destroy any future enemies. He beheads Shinnok as a warning to not only the Netherrealm but any other realm that wants to mess with Earthrealm at this point. Obviously, Dark Raiden's being back is bound to happen. It seems like Raiden just can't escape his downfall to being corrupted. From what I've seen, Raiden had a generic bio in MK11, so there's really not much to talk about there. Raiden disappears, and when we get the young Raiden, the Protector is back, and the Conqueror is gone. So based on the Aftermath DLC, we can assume Raiden's ending, where he agrees to help Liu and sculpt history until he's no longer able to, is probably the real one, because the Katana one obviously didn't impact the Aftermath story at all. It didn't exist. So let's use that ending for the actual thing. So where they defeat Kronika, but the crown is destroyed, so Aftermath comes into play. So that's basically the real ending there. So this is where things get a bit interesting. In the beginning of the Aftermath, we see a mortal Raiden advising Liu Kang, and Liu asks him to stay behind to help advise him. More than likely, he knows what Shang is up to, and he knows the fact that Shang will ultimately betray them, and he asks what he thinks they should do. Secondly, there's a second Raiden. We see this it's the Thunder God Raiden, who is soundly defeated by Shang Tsung, and him and Fujin is doomed to be batteries for all eternity for Shang's power. Honestly, everything that happened in the Aftermath story didn't matter except Liu Kang and Shang Tsung. So Raiden was alive and well advising Liu Kang, and finally the new era begins. So like, even though the Thunder God Raiden was gone, it didn't impact the other Raiden, because the other Raiden existed outside of the timeline. If that makes sense. Like, I know that sounds complicated, but you're just kind of gonna have to just go along with it. But anyways, Raiden is back, but not as a god anymore. In the village of Fengjian, Raiden was known for his kindness and his charity. He was happy to spend his days tending to the fields, as well as his friends and family. So when he is asked to leave Fengjian and become one of Earthrealm's champions, Raiden hesitates, but he soon realizes that the best way to serve his village is he must join the champions. As threats to Earthrealm mount, Raiden must mature quickly into a great warrior that Liu Kang knows he can be. A far cry from the days of when he was a Thunder God, he was extremely humble and kind. Not exactly the best fighter when we first see him, but after training with the Shaolin, he becomes the new champion of Earthrealm. I'm not gonna really go into all the callbacks in the story because there'll be just too many to go into. We'll just talk about the last time we see Raiden instead. The Earthrealm warriors are conversing, and they're just talking about what their future plans are now that the fight with Shang Tsung and all of the other timelines are done. Basically, he's gonna become master and help train the new initiates for the future.
Were it not for my godly counterpart, I would not have survived the battle against Titan Shang Tsung. Meeting him, though, raised questions. Why did I replace him in this new era? Why was I made mortal? Lord Liu Kang told me of his Raiden's nobility and righteousness, about his steadfast leadership in the defense of Earthrealm. He also told me about Raiden's dark side, how he could be consumed by rage and cast aside the rules he otherwise lived by. Making me mortal and incapable of such anger was to keep me from following in his footsteps. Though I understood the reasons why, I felt I had been done a disservice. To survive the coming battles, I may need the edge that only great rage can bring. As the Shaolin couldn't aid me, I sought out someone who could. Someone to stoke the fire within me and teach me to master it. For this, I could have no better teacher than the Shirai Ryu's Grand Master.
In his ending, which I believe is canon, Raiden wanting to control his anger, to not fall victim to his rage like all the previous versions of himself. He instead wants to control it so that he can master the ability that comes with it. This leads me to believe he will one day become a god again. Maybe Liu Kang and Raiden switch at some point, but I doubt it. But we'll see where the story takes us in the future games. I know that this episode is extremely long, but Raiden has so much to talk about. His impact on Mortal Kombat is vast. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed it this far, give this video a like and a sub to the channel for more Mortal Kombat videos with new guides, lore, and just any news that we get from either Ed Boon or NRS in general. Which version of Raiden do you guys like better, the God of Thunder or Champion of Earthrealm? As for me, I'll always be I always like the God of Thunder more. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video of the new Face Yourself episode. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.